All right, hey there. It is 2 o'clock, and that means it is time to get started. If you're here for the Sonic Promos webinar, you are in the right place. Without further ado, let me introduce you to me. Hey, everybody. Happy New Year. This is the last official day to be able to say Happy New Year. I think after that, it's over. It's expired. You got to come up with something new. We're going to jump right in. With me today, special guest on the floor, Miss January from the Sonic Promos. Hopefully, you got the Sonic Promos pet calendar. Look how cute she is. Oh, where are you, Lexi? There you are. Lexi. Hello. Lexi on the floor. So if you've not gotten your Sonic Promos pet calendar, please check your mail. We're really excited today. We've got a lot to catch up on, so we're going to get started. So our webinar takes 3 parts. We've got our Sonic Promos hat trick. Today we're going to talk about our most successful products and categories. We're going to talk a little bit about examples of creative promotional solutions. And then we're going to showcase some of Sonic's reach and impact over the past year. So our top sellers for 2024, these are what we found to be our top overall sellers. I would say number 6 would be technology, but number 1 is drinkware. Number 2 is bags. Number 3, t-shirts. 4, writing instruments. And 5, displays and signs. And so we'll go a little bit further into each of those so you can just get a feel for what that look like. Drinkware, I mean, whether that was glassware or travel tumblers or mugs or ceramic cups, anything you could think of that was holding some sort of beverage in there, drinkware continued to reign supreme. That was really impacted by a lot of people looking for Stanley and Yeti and brands like those. I think a lot of our clients were excited to find that there were alternatives that were available that they could use to find the branding that would work for them. Some of those name brands don't always support the branding, so having alternatives was really helpful as well. In addition, inventory challenges and all sorts of color issues and variances can really deter the ability to get some of those brands. And so having some alternatives really helps when you're really looking for a drinkware item. Bags and bags and bags. What you see here is pretty standard, something that you would find as far as like what's off the shelf, and then you can choose what your branding options are. We also did a lot of custom bags, which is also really popular. If you've got time to do that, you can make something really replicate your color and your brand, your feel. You can change out what the straps look like. But even then, whether it was for trade shows or whether it's for onboarding or whether it's for special events, bags continue to be an item that is popular. And the reason being is functionality. And they last a long time. People don't throw them away. People put bags and bags and bags, and you never know when you're going to use it. And I think that's really what speaks to its consistency in being popular. Pens, there's always a need for writing instruments. It doesn't matter what your industry is. This is by far our most popular pen. It's the Ellipse Softy Gel Pen. It's a great feel. It writes really well. It's got a stylus tip on the top, and as you can see, it can support a nice full color decoration. So many of our clients have lots of colors in their logos, especially if you're dealing with special events. And a pen like this can really help to support that, as instead of having to try to, look back or move back to something more simple, one color, that doesn't really reflect what the brand is. But at the same time, this pen can also support several other decoration techniques, and that's what makes it a universally, appreciated brand across all of our industries. T-shirts, I mean, wearables are always popular, but if you're going to separate them in there, t-shirts are by far one of our most popular sellers. Again, whether it's for health and wellness programs, whether it's for races, whether you're just want to do some sort of fun event. I mean, it really is used in all sorts of different ways. Uniforming, also very, very popular. The Bella and Canvas brand, and by far the unisex jersey short sleeve tee, has been our most popular. It's a great feel. It prints really well. It has the capacity to do a lot of different decoration methods that some brands and some makes don't always do. So if you've got a very complex design, it's a brand that you can feel good about. It's always deep in inventory, and it's got lots of color options. And Bella in general is a brand that you can always feel really, really good about. And it's, it's quality fabrics. You've got inclusive sizing. That is really, what goes into driving its success. And I think that that also is another reason why, again, it was really popular, and why Bella continues to become more and more popular of a brand. If you haven't heard of it before, ask your account rep to get you a sample, or even put a logo on there and see what that looks like, and put it in front of your leadership team, and see if they feel the difference. And then displays and signs, we do tons of business with banners, but we also do a lot of business with full scale trade show displays, indoor and outdoor. We did a lot of tents this year, so many in fact that one of my clients was actually my son. I think it was the first time where my son became a client. So I would expect to recoup all of my life savings within another 30 years or so based on the volume of business. But it was exciting. They were excited to get something that had the brand. They were excited to be able to showcase their tent and be able to rock it at some of the special events on campus. And so if you're looking to do a tent, whether it's 10 or 20, whether it's indoor or outdoor, there's a lot of options out there. I'll teach you real quickly about tent branding, because sometimes people don't really understand it. You've got peaks and you've got valances. So the peaks are the triangles, and the valances are the square rectangles that are going where it says virtual games. Those are the valances. Where the rabbit is the peaks. And most tents start as a blank canvas. There are some that come in standard colors, and you can print on those. And then there are others that start white, and you can brand them completely custom. Make sure that they match your PMS color, or CMYK. You want to make sure all of those match up. You can change up what the decoration is. But if you don't want to spend the money on a full scale, totally branded tent, you can pay per element of the tent. So you could just pay to print the peaks, pay to print the valance, pay to print one peak, one valance. Maybe you just putting the website all the way around on the valances. Depending on where you are, what people are going to see, those are things to think about. So it does not need to be this entire giant, grandiose design, especially if people are only coming at you from the front. So take into consideration what you think you're going to be showing people. Okay. All right, intermission. Look at that. So take a time here to say it is actually National Hat Day today. Just found that out right before the event. So rocking a new hat here. This is a custom beanie. It's custom several different ways here. First off, it's really long. You can see it's long. So if you don't like it, you can cut it. But one of the reasons that it's long is because it's dual purpose. You can fold it, right? And then it's just a regular cap. Okay, this has been Pantone color matched. So the client wanted this specific type of gray. So you can do that as well. They wanted the rib knit. You can do that as well. And as far as the decoration goes, we did a label here, okay? Both sides, inside and out. I'm terrible with the camera today, inside and out. So it gives you the ability, whether it's custom this way, I mean, it's really long. You can cut eye holes through here if it's something you want to do, like this. And then you can fold it back up like this. So, and this is custom. You're not going to pull this off the shelf. So for something like this, you really need probably 25, I'm playing with the hat a lot, 25 to 30 business days to produce it, but you probably need some time to design it as well. But this is what's possible. You don't have to order thousands. You can order a couple hundred of something like this. And it speaks to the ability of what you can do if you've got a little bit of time. So with that in mind, let's move on. I'm going to take a quick drink. Okay. We want to talk a little bit about some of our programs and what we did over this last year, and you can take a look at what might be helpful for you for your programs. Okay, so this is an example of an online redemption program. A lot of our clients have worked on online redemption programs. They're really, really popular. They're easy to scale up or down. They can handle as few as one item with 10 orders, 10 items with 1,000. They take the hassle out of a lot of the process, and we can show you how that is. But depending on how developed your program is, it's really critical to think about how much time you really need. So we can pop up a program like this in a few days. But if you really want to make sure that people have a freedom of choice, or you want to make sure that the items are going to be available, you have to do a little bit more critical thinking, and you need to plan out a little bit in advance. So here's an example of a client. They had about 350 people. They wanted to do a end of year gift to give to everybody, and the theme was elevate. We were going to elevate their experience. So whether it was elevating their travel, or elevating the backyard, or elevating their music experience, or elevating their fire, or again, some backyard experience, or everybody is playing pickleball, so they want to elevate the pickleball experience. By coming up with a program like this, you have to think about a lot of different variables. You have to think about the best case and the worst case. The best case is that everybody evenly orders those items. So if you have 350 people, maybe everybody is 60 people or so, 50, 60, 70 people are ordering, the different items. It makes it easy to fulfill, but you need to make sure that you have that level of inventory before you would even add that item to a program. And what's the worst case scenario? Well, you have two worst case scenarios. Worst case scenario number one is that everybody orders the same item. And so what happens there? Well, you need to make sure that you have 350 of that item as well. So you really don't want to put that in there if that is a potential for what could happen, or be ready for it, right? Or what's another worst case scenario? Everybody orders one item except for one person who orders, one different person orders one of each of the other items, right? Everybody orders a Solo Stove, but one person from each picked each item. So you need to be able to have an item that either can support a one-piece minimum, or you want to have an item that at the very least you're not stuck, never stuck. You are have a limited inventory. So it might be like, look, the Solo Stove, the minimum order might be 6. So if only 2 people ordered it, then you have 4 that you need to think about. What are you going to use them for? Well, you might not know right now, but it could be a speaker gift. It could be a anniversary present. It could be a raffle item. It could be used at a conference. So there's a lot of additional functionality that you can put forward to be able to multi-purpose those items. But in this case, we did this. That's what we did with all the items. We were able to successfully offer it up. We had a fairly even distribution, which was great. And then from there, we ordered the items, decorated the items, and shipped the items out. In addition, we fulfilled all of the communication and the concierge and the customer service. So we sent out the emails. We then knew who redeemed, how quickly they redeemed, what they redeemed for. We were able to follow up with who didn't redeem and make sure that they did redeem. And we were able to then follow up with them again. And then if we're not able to connect with them, we will then reach back out to the client and say, hey, what do you want to do here? Do you want to order some extras? Do you want to say you snooze, you lose? And we can then help to manage that program. Sometimes our clients don't want us to manage the whole program, and they'll come back to us because these things are not pieces that they had anticipated. And so we'll help them with that. But by working with Sonic to cover the entire elements, we are going to be able to follow through and see some of the spots and be able to manage things a lot more, at the moment, as opposed to not always seeing all the data. And so we control the data. We can provide you with information as well. If we need to jumpstart an order, we can jumpstart an order. I could talk about this forever. I'm going to keep moving. If you've got more questions, please ask your rep. Please ask me. Talked about it. They're easy to scale. We can do as few as one item with 10 orders, or 10 items with thousands of orders. It takes the hassle out of collecting sizes and addresses. That was the reason we did redemption programs in the first place. Before the pandemic, it was like, clients are ordering thousands of shirts and they were not really asking people what sizes they need. And so they'd get stuck with sizes that they didn't need. And then what do you do with all these shirts that are now dated? By using the redemption program, even just to know what sizes you need, they can really help to provide that information. And then in the future, you could use that for yourself to be able to do additional orders. Okay. Playing cards. This is one of the items that I would consider a bucket list item. This is a project that I started working on with a client a few years ago, and it actually took a couple of years. But in addition to being able to print on just the backs of playing cards, you can also print on the faces of playing cards, and you can print unique information on the faces of those playing cards. And so this is an example of a project that we worked on for our client, Southern Management. They wanted to showcase all of their different communities. They also wanted to showcase their history and provide stories about some of their people and what opportunities could exist for anybody who works within their company. And so we worked together on a custom deck of playing cards, and it actually took us about a year to put this together, between the design and the making sure that the copy was correct and the content. This particular piece has a QR code that's on one of the cards. So if you scan the QR code, it actually takes you to the landing page that you see there. And so this is like truly a labor of love. You need to actually have a muse. She might be on listening. Kendra might be watching, because I know she likes to hear when we're talking about her projects. But you need to be able to be willing to invest a lot of time to make a project like this happen, but the end result is fantastic. And for us, we ended up winning a couple of awards for this. So at the end of this past December, we won our regional award for internal communication programs, and we just found out last week that we've won our industry's Pyramid Award, which is our highest honor. It's our Oscar. The speeches are not as good, and there's no red carpet anymore, I don't think. But this year we won 2 of them. We're one of only 53 awards that were given this year, and so it solved a purpose. We've used them over and over again. They tell a story. They're super functional, and so there's a lot to be said for custom playing cards, and you can use them in so many ways. If you've got health and wellness tips that you want to talk about, safety initiatives that you want to talk about, again, custom, maybe you've got different buildings that you want to showcase. Maybe you're in the hotel industry and you want to show some of your hotels. There's a lot of functionality and a lot of purpose. And then I'll leave you with playing cards are printed on big flat sheets, and you can print all the faces on one sheet, which is what we did. We were able to frame them so you can see what each of the cards look like on one flat page. It really was a fantastic project. I was excited to work on it. So I know we're running out of time. I do see people are still here. So until we drop a little bit, I will drop, but I'm going to keep pushing through here. Again, playing cards, low cost item, full color printing. You have the ability to make it functional with a QR code. Okay. Legos, custom building blocks. Hopefully you've heard of Choice Hotels. It's a client of ours, and we work on several of their brands. This is, again, a custom project that we worked on for months and months and months to replicate what the buildings look like. Come up with a custom box, custom pieces, making sure that it's totally to scale. This is a type of program that required us to work directly with Lego. There were special requirements as far as number of pieces and what the colors could be. But if you've got something that you'd like to try to replicate in a custom way like this, talk to your rep and we can show you how that can be done. So it's an item that appeals to the senses. In this case, it's touch. Employs playfulness and fun. It's a limited edition product that can increase, a viral impact for you. All right, I'm going to breeze through intermission. I don't have any intermission. That's just there if I need a break. So we'll keep going real quickly. I want to highlight our capabilities, because the biggest thing that we run into is time. It is not a currency that we can really control. There's only so much of it. And so the more time you give us, the more time you have to create something really amazing, and more time that you have to maybe even print a sample, especially if you're doing custom colors, to make sure that it looks good, it reflects the brand that you're trying to show, because nobody wants surprises. You've been working all this time and then you get the item and it just isn't exactly what you wanted. That can be disappointing. And we're just as disappointed with you. So the best way to remedy that is to try to get as much time in there. If you're starting to think about it now, even if it's 5 months from now, let's talk about it now. We can direct you on what timeline you need for the items that you're thinking. Okay, Sonic has been global for many, many years. While several of our clients are right down the street, lots of our clients are all over the world. And we do ship regularly to the countries that you see here. Probably it's time for us to update this map. I always say it. Plus, the world is changing as it is. And so, it's important to know that if maybe you've got an event that you need to get something to another country at, isn't normally what you have to do. We can help you to do that because it's not that simple. And we've got a great team inside that can help to make sure that we're filling out the right paperwork and we know what the items are made of, so that they're not getting, hung up at customs and a lot of the challenges that come into play. You may not need this today, but the time may come that you might. So think about it, okay? This past year, we completed 4,300 jobs. So that was a combination of, we need a rush to, hey, we want to do custom playing cards. And so we are well suited to be able to manage whatever types of programs and projects that you have. If it's, we want to order 5,000 pens, but we've got 5 programs in the next 3 months, we might come up with a better way for you to do that. So let's be strategic so that we can help you to maximize your budget and your time. All right, so overview of our online programs. We launched 75 new online programs just last year. We also fulfilled over 13,000 orders. I did the math here. That works out to an average of 178 orders per program, and that's not realistic to the types of programs. We have some where we'll do 30, and we have some that we might do 1,000. So we do have the ability to scale these programs for you, whether it's local, whether it's global, whether some of it's bulk, whether it's on demand. You need us to hold some stuff and release it. We're totally put together to be able to manage and support those types of programs for you. Okay. All right, wow, I did it pretty quickly. I can talk, these are things I can talk about probably because I know what Sonic is capable of, but so often we are supporting your immediate need for us. But if you give us time, you tell us what you're trying to work on. Let me show my face here. You give us time, you tell us what you're trying to work on, we can really do more for you. We can help you to maximize your budget. We can help to make sure that brand looks good. We can make sure that while you think that embroidery works, or we think that direct to film is going to work, we all need to make sure that it really works before we just dig into it. And time can provide you that opportunity. So while we're here, here's your opportunity to receive a playing card kit from us. Go ahead and scan this QR code, and we will send you some information. You can learn about playing cards. If you've never seen a playing card before, this is your opportunity to do that, which I think is awesome. You can also click the link, which has been put into the chat here. And I'm super excited to see that everybody has held firm for the most part. So I think that is great. Hopefully this has been really helpful for everybody. At this point, I want to see if we've got any questions. Are there any questions? I know Mallory had said that there maybe were some. From the registration, what strategy do you recommend for employee professional clothing, for example, offering branded custom company clothing to all employees, not mandatory uniforms? So the first question I would ask is, are they paying or are you paying? That's a big part of that. We have some companies, they're requiring people to, you're saying not required, but some require them. But even if they're not required, it's only for pay. So if it's something that would be for pay, I would suggest some other types of programs. Actually, there are a lot of new programs out there that give you the ability to try out an employee uniform program without investing in any inventory. There are certain products, there are certain decoration methods that are available for that. It's a great way to really test the waters. It's perfect for US based companies. I wouldn't suggest it right now for global. But as far as that suggestion, the best suggestion I could offer, again, instead of just popping up a full store, would be almost to do a pop-up store, a short term for like a month or something, what we call like a group buy, where everybody logs in. They say, hey, these are the 6 or 10 items that are available for purchase. You log in, you have to order by X date. And then at that point, we take the orders and then we fulfill the orders. You communicate, hey, you're going to get these, but it's going to take this amount of time. But then what you're able to do is we're able to say, okay, you got 12 of these and 10 of these and 6 of these and 8 of these. And so why don't you order a few extras of these? And if you want to keep that open, we could see what kind of additional follow-up you have, or you just hold it. Someone says, I want a shirt or whatever. You can do that through a redemption, or you can do that through pay. But those can stop you having to make a capital investment in an enterprise solution, which starts more at like the $10,000 to $15,000 program if you're looking to just keep something up and running all the time. And if you don't have the number of people to support that, that just doesn't make sense. So my follow up to that is let's talk more about that. Or if you're not sure, maybe that's something you hadn't thought about, but you want to talk about, let's talk more about it. But we don't never want to invest in a program that breaks. And we also don't like to take over old programs that are broken. Sometimes that happens. There are reasons why they're broken. And so just let's talk about it a little bit more. Another question. What role can and should AI have in helping to personalize and recommend appropriate promo items or packages? It's our favorite question. We love AI at Sonic. I love AI. I use it all the time. I think it's really helpful. I also think that you need to know what it is that you're being provided. And so especially with AI, I'll give you an example. We've received a few designs, art designs. Canva is kind of AI, but other art designs where you're using an AI generator, even designing sculptures for like awards and things where the AI hears what you're saying, design a brass award that, looks like a hand coming out of the ground. It will do that, but it won't really take into consideration what it takes to make that happen. And so if the design is, in such a way that it's not going to be able to hold with the material that you're thinking, then you're really not in the right spot. And so really for like award generation, I still recommend you almost hand draw something and then let somebody use CAD to design it. As far as the personalization of items, I like that. I'm not opposed to it. You'll see in our website, if you go to Signature Sonic, and if you haven't checked out our website, it's always being updated. It uses some AI in there. It says, hey, if you looked at this, you might like this, right? Well, why wouldn't you? So I think that that's important, but it's not checking inventory. It doesn't know what your logo is. It doesn't take into consideration that the embroidery, unless you say the embroidery decoration is going to be 2x3 and it's 5,000 stitches. Even then, I still haven't met an AI generator that understands that information. So for ideas, hey, we're doing a conference and we want to, give out handouts, but we want it to be green or whatever. You can use an AI generator for that. I do it sometimes. I don't think they're as good as your own mind. I think creativity is really popular. I think it's powerful for the use of promotional items. An AI generator can help with certain things, but now other places where it's going to be useful is certainly in the way of design on some of the websites that you're going to see that we use. Okay, but anyway, we could talk about that. It is 2:30. We've just about dropped to 12 people, which is still double digits, but I don't see any other questions than what is being fed to me. So I hope I've done a good job. I'll look forward to catching up with all of you who signed up for the kit. And if you have any other questions, please give us a call. Thanks again, and we'll talk to you soon.